It has been a very long time, or at least it seems like it has, about 2 weeks since I was on the summit of Mount Fuji on this channel. I was living up there for 4 days, which is crazy. I got over the massive headaches, was able to hike back down, get home. Next morning, get on a flight, 13 hours, JFK, get on a train, travel up to New England. It was quite a crazy a few days after that live stream, recovering from it all, and then deciding whether or not should I do live streaming while I'm in the US? I probably should have, because there were so many things to talk about. It's absolutely crazy how much Japan has changed. We had an election where it was leaning more to the right. The Sanseido party has been creeping up on the LDP, Juminto. There's a lot of stuff to unpack with that. There's also the new agency by the government, probably a compromise between the right and a lot of people in Japan who in the news always hear the stories about the bad foreigners that come to Japan, the bad situations that happen here. I'll be talking about that over the next few days. There's just so much to do to just do in one stream. I'm in this live stream, just wanted to come and say, hey, I know I get a lot of messages, when are you gonna be doing the next live stream? After Mount Fuji, I decided that I wanted to just slow down a little bit and focus on this episode. This is one I just put the narration in that'll be coming next week, maybe after another video. It's about the Nagasaki, the bombing of Nagasaki in 1945. This is the opening scene of it, and I put in the narration. I think it's about 28 minutes long. It's quite long. It was really hard to do. I interviewed two hibakusha and the child of a survivor, a child who not a child, but a grandchild to a survivor who's 103 years old, and how she's keeping her grandmother's legacy alive by sharing the stories that she was told. So there's a lot of stuff to unpack in that episode. It's one of the ones that I think, as someone who's lived here for 27 years, you just gotta confront, in particular as a former resident of Nagasaki. I wanted to do a very good a former resident of Hiroshima, I should say. The two cities linked by being the first place that had an atomic bomb dropped and the last place that had an atomic bomb dropped. And here are the two, Ujihara-san and oh gosh, maybe it's the heat that's frying me. I can't, not Sato-san, I can't remember the name, Yokoyama-san. Also, I interviewed, and they were alive during the bombing, and they saw it, they experienced it, and the aftermath. And it's quite a big episode that'll be coming in the within the next week. And the 80th anniversary is on August 9th, Hiroshima being August 6th. I think these are very significant ones because it's around this time. Like, if this is the 80th memorial of Nagasaki and Hiroshima coming up, that means that everybody who was alive back then who remembers it was probably like 88 to 90 years old, because anything before age 7, it's really hard to remember. You had to have been pretty old. The Ujihara-san who I interviewed, he's 95 years old. This guy's incredible. He's 95, he's still working, running around, he's doing push-ups and stuff. He was 15 at the time, a mobilized student working at a train station, and he shared his story. He remembers seeing the bomb, hearing the blast, seeing the mushroom cloud, and people from Nagasaki being transported by freight car to Isahaya train station, and the horror, the things that he saw, he shares with me. And these are the kind of lessons that we have to be reminded, especially every 3 generations, of what happened. It's maybe more important now than ever before. It's an unbiased look. Well, it's hard for me to say that because I live here, but I am also American, and I think it's a very factual based look at what happened here on the ground at Nagasaki, not on the bombing itself, but on the hypocenter and what happened down on the ground, so that you can hear their voices before those voices. It's so hot here. You get the point of what the episode's about. So I've been slaving on this. This is a main channel episode. There's a lot of stuff to upload there, but this one in particular, I have to get out as soon as possible. It's so hot here. Right across here, this is also happening tonight. Tonight in Tokyo, do you see that right there? that's it, Tokyo Sky Tree, and this is the Sumida River. And in just I don't know, a few hours from now, they're going to be launching up the fireworks for the Sumidagawa Fireworks Festival. And it looks like, you know, every year there's been rain kind of ruining it, but I got a pretty good idea with the rainy season being over like a month ago that this is going to be a really good fireworks. There's not a lot of wind as well. The heat is just kind of baking on everything right now. I wish I was back in the United States, how much cooler it is there. It's unbelievable, unless you're like in Death Valley in California or something. This is absolutely, oh, there's a nice breeze. It's really hot. It's not like you don't know this about summer in Tokyo. Some people have already put down blankets because you can get kind of a view from here, but probably tonight, I don't know if I'm gonna go to it this year. Maybe I'll watch it from the river, not go into where the crowds are. You can see the fireworks just about anywhere. Satrio, the hardest thing with doing a fireworks live stream is that you have to have a good signal, and usually there's crowds of people. It's really hard to do, but we'll see what happens. The timing is also really bad. Oh, I just burned my arms on the metal of Chuo-Hashi here. It's really hot. The sun is baking us here. Crazy weather, 38 degrees Celsius is really hot. It's really hot. There's a nice breeze though. I guess this is new, it's coming in. Maybe there's a storm coming, I don't know. Maybe there's a typhoon coming in, I don't know. Yesterday, the flight was pretty nice. We got into the airport, the family, here we are back in Tokyo to let our family know. Oh no, this was at JFK. This is right after, right before we were boarding. I can't believe I spent $34 on water and nuts for Kanai to snack on, and these gummy bear things at JFK Airport. I can't believe it was $34, which was 5,000 yen. The cashew nuts, or no, I think she had pistachios for like $15, just that. The water was $7. Like, what? Like in Japan, you can get a vending machine water for 120 yen. Or 110 yen, which is the same price as you can get at all the vending machines in the city. I don't know why I guess because it's the airport, it's America. Get this one, ANA, if you have extra luggage, because now economy class on ANA, which is the flag carrier of Japan with the Japan Airlines, it's supposed to be really great service. Usually you'd be able to get 2 bags for economy. Now you can only get 1 check-in bag. And an extra check-in bag from Japan is 20,000 yen. From America is $200, which is actually 30,000 yen. I asked them, please charge me in Japanese yen because it's a Japanese credit card. I've heard that they can do that, and they decided that they did not want to do that at New York. It's weird. The service from Tokyo to JFK is so good, but the service in JFK, none of the staff has ever been to Japan. They know nothing about Japanese customer service. They're like, sorry, we can't do anything. We don't know what we're doing. We're not even sure why we're here. Just give me your bags and go to your gate. Okay. ANA can do better. The food is really lacking. The one thing that Kanai and I both realized, ANA's food service, the staff is always going to be amazing. The people are great. But the food is not up to what it used to be anymore. We could tell. We did not eat most of what we got for lunch. We slept through the mid-flight snack, and when we got what was for breakfast, we kind of opened it, and we put it away. It was like scallop noodles or something, and they had this curry thing, but they were sold out by the time they got to us, which is weird because we're row 31. So it was a weird flight because it wasn't as good as what it normally was, but the great thing about going to the US is that we also were able to go to the supermarkets. To us, whenever you go to any other country, going to the supermarket's like going to a museum, right? It's amazing, especially the sweets in America. Like, whoa, look at these rainbow cookies. They look so good, but where'd those colors come from? I'm tempted, but I don't know. I did get like a bear claw or an apple fritter. And these cakes, I'm like, come on, just give me one. Okay, wait, they do have pieces of cake, a tiramisu cake and a cannoli cake. They take all the good stuff and put it into a cake. I'm telling you, America's got some of the best sweets around because there's so many of them. Kanai's freaking out. She's like, look at this. Look at this pecan pie. So we were really I know a lot of it is ultra processed, but I'm amazed that, you know, a lot of it is ultra processed, but if you look at the labels now, they're starting to they realize that people are more mindful of this, and they're starting to get rid of some of that ultra processed stuff. You start seeing sugar cane as one of the ingredients instead of corn syrup in more and more places. I get, you know, this is one of the effects, whether you agree or not, of the new administration coming in, I think, which is maybe a very good thing. Nobody ever talked about food safety politically, and now we're starting to see that, despite the fact that, yeah, maybe I got one of those. They had Boston cream donuts, and then they had like Long John Boston cream donuts, which is like a long one. I skipped on that one. I was tempted. We went to all right, they don't have Trader Joe's in Japan or in Hawaii or in Guam, so that's one of the things I think Japanese in particular love to go to when they go to the United States. So I would say one suitcase was dedicated mainly to Trader Joe's stuff. A lot of people can pay off their trip to Japan by bringing back Trader Joe bags and reselling them on the market here in Japan. It's amazing. You buy them for $3, you can sell them for $20 here. So we don't do that. Kanai has 3 bags, but she gives them as gifts to friends. Maybe we should. I'm in the shade now just because it's just freaking hot. There are too many ultra-processed foods in the United States, but I think there's more of a choices than there were before, and I think that's maybe a better thing. I'm starting to see it. I have a unique point of view on this because I go back to the U.S. in intervals. So last time I was there was about a year ago, and I remember going to the supermarket and I saw that I read the labels and the ingredients were not as good. Pop-Tarts and cereal, I think they're still kind of toxic, but I don't know. I think they're going to be changing because if they do, I might buy more. I'm really curious on the Coca-Cola with sugarcane because Japan uses the high fructose corn syrup from America. This is Chuohashi, not too far away from where I live. It's a nice place. It's one of my favorite. A lot of dramas are filmed on this bridge. You'll see a lot of celebrities walking around. There's a lot of old celebrities from the 1990s that live in this area as well. You'll see them. If you've been here long enough to remember them on TV, and you say hi to them, and they're very happy. Oh, you remember me. I got recognized at JFK a couple of times. That was fun. Only for people interested in Japan. But I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think about some of the changes? What do you want me to attack? Michael Sassano's in the house. How you doing, Michael? Welcome back, brother. It sure feels nice to be home, safe and sound. Missed you. Thank you. I missed you too. Doing the live streams for me is, yeah, this channel goes way back to 2017, which is actually way back for this technology, and it's a way, I did it as a way when I was hitchhiking to not feel alone out there on the road, to bring the stories from Japan to you live, like you're there, you can feel it if you're here with me right now. This IRL streaming wasn't really a thing back then, and now it's turned into something. More and more streamers now are having trouble streaming around Tokyo and Kyoto in places that are very crowded. There's a tide that's changing in Japan. I'll talk about this in another live stream, maybe tomorrow. There's a midnight snack run definitely on the horizon. Lots of foods. I was going to get a tamago sando. What's the foods that you guys, when you come back to Japan, there's a lot of people who are repeaters here. What food do you typically will get as soon as you land at Haneda? Maybe not at the airport. What's the first meal or the first thing that you get when you come back? And there's always a meal that you get before you leave. Because food is such an integral part. If food is not an important part of your trip to Japan, I don't know why you're coming to Japan. I said it. It's almost all about the food, really. Apparently, Legal Mindset was warned against streaming by immigration officers when he visited. I think the warning is not so much about you streaming. I think it's just there's a lot of really angry people. There was a guy, I just saw him on Instagram. He's some guy, people got these weird stuff that they do with the streaming now, or just filming YouTube. This is why I try to get a permit with everything, or try to call ahead so that everything goes smoothly. Just like TV does the same stuff, but it's hard to do with YouTube because you don't have the manpower or the budgets that they do on TV. But if you do and you get access, it makes it so much smoother. But if you're just filming shotgun around the city, there are a lot of locals that are upset, and I've seen some assaults on tourists. And there's some guy who was singing, he goes around singing on some kind of, Hot Wheels or whatever, standing Hot Wheels, and some guy not punched him, but kind of body checked him and stuff. That's assault. But I don't know how much longer I can do this channel. I'm not going to stop doing it, but I have to be a little bit more careful, pick my battles out here, and then maybe get into podcasting or doing stuff, talking about issues that are important to you, and mostly focus on the main channel stuff, and get back into getting 2 episodes a month there. This Nagasaki one is really hard, though. It's really hard. Thank you, Michael, as always, and Cobra Bebop. I love you. Thank you. It's nice to see you. Nice to see everybody here. A lot of you here. Peso writes in here, the first meal I get is a good question, but I always endeavor to get kalbi, Pots-Rico, and Cremia ice cream before I leave, no matter the season. They have an amazing kalbi place down in the basement of Tokyo Station's basement, underneath the station. It's amazing how many things that they packed in there, with the Pokemon store, they got the kalbi store. Tokyo Banana's got a store down there, and they make like their own curry pan. They've put like all the stuff that Japanese and foreign tourists would want right in the basement of Tokyo Station. So somebody just wrote in that Tokyo Station was one of the lowlights. I think you weren't watching the streams here. Tokyo Station is one of the highlights nowadays. It's pretty incredible. Royal Host, Denny's, family restaurants are kind of fun here. It's amazing you can get a really good Japanese meal at Denny's in Japan. And that blows my mind, like a good katsudon. You can get katsudon and karage teishoku, which is like a platter with miso soup and rice at Denny's. It's crazy to me. There's a one-piece cafe that opened up here in Little Tokyo, but food is not interesting. I think that the soft power Japanese chains opening up outside of Japan is just going to increase, especially with the tariffs, and we'll talk more about that. Japan is moving a lot of stuff to other countries. They were doing this when the yen was getting weak about 3 years ago, and a lot of Japanese companies started to move into the US. One of my friends, the owner, well, the CEO of, I don't think I think he gave it, his son took over, but the CEO of Dasai, which is the Japanese sake maker, Dasai, it's always hard to say. They started to make their own sake in America. They did it, I think, because it just made a lot of sense. The rice, I've talked about this, the rice sourced from Arkansas and it's brewed in New York. You can go to the brewery, apparently. So they offered me to go in there, and I said, I just don't have time on this trip. But they're making all their sake completely in the United States. Is it good? I think it's a little bit too fruity for me. I don't like fruity sake. I think it should have a little karakuchi to it, a little dryness. But what's the first thing you ate when you got back to Japan? You know what? When I leave Japan and I come back, it's usually not long enough where I'm craving stuff. But I'll put it to you like this. All right, ramen is always good, Ramen's good. A tonkotsu ramen, real thick one. I like kara miso negi ramen, which is a spicy miso negi ramen. Tamago sando is a good one, but it's a sandwich, I mean, I love katsudon. That might be in my top 3. Karaage chicken. I think tsukemen might be up there. Some tsukemen, which is noodles that you dip. It's thicker ramen noodles that you dip in a very thick broth. Ramen, I think ramen has to be it. Ramen or tsukemen has to be the last meal. And it depends where you are. If you're in Hiroshima, I would say okonomiyaki has to be the last meal, because that includes the noodles and the sauce and everything. You get it all. What was the first thing? Thanks for that, Zam Zam. And I see our friend Ellis. Ellis, I was hoping to see you when we were in the US. It's just the time never came. We'll try to give you a call anyways. It's nice to see you here. We'll try to give you a call, and I actually left food in the US that I was supposed to take to the post office just with family and stuff. I never really, because the post office is like walking distance for me. I just walk there. I need to get in a car and drive 20 minutes to get to the post office. It's just crazy. So I never got a chance to send you a package. Maybe my parents can do that and send it to you, but I don't want that stuff to expire. What was in there? This is one of our Daimyo supporters as well. I put in some yuzu kosho. I figured you might be out of that, so that's in there too. We're always a plane ride away to you. Ellis, we're waiting for you to get your butt over here instead of seeing you on the other side. We want you here in Tokyo, particularly for the fireworks. Well, I'll see if I can live stream it from a distance, but there's no way I'm going to the center of the city. This is one of the events. Sumidagawa Fireworks Festival is one of the events that I typically would rather watch on TV. And it shows how long you've been in Japan. It's just too hot to be outside, first of all. By the time the fireworks starts, you're drained. It's so crowded and uncomfortable. Talk about the heat plus the people. It's a mix that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Also, there's not really a good event space. The people who are watching the Sumidagawa Fireworks Festivals are going to be in the alleys and the streets where there's a clearing that you can see straight to where the launch place is, which is on the river. The riverbanks are too crowded. It's hard to get, and the stations get just crazy busy as well. I would say the Edogawa Fireworks Festival, which is 1 week from now, is so much better because you can stake out a piece of grass to plop your butt on, and it's so comfortable and it feels more like a festival there. The Sumidagawa is a better one to watch on TV, or maybe come out a little bit further. This is kind of far away, but you can probably see the fireworks from the bridge here. Yeah. Oh, it's so hot in the sun. Oh my God, I'm baking out here. I've been watching you for so long. Wait, you got a nice super chat here from Darlin Nikki 67. I've been watching you for so long. I truly enjoy your live videos. I'm excited about coming. Your videos are so informative. I'm hoping to bring the whole family. Thank you for all that you do. Well, thank you for that. I can't wait you got to come. Try to find me and say hi. I'd love to meet you. That's one of the things I've missed over the last 2 weeks. Actually, the last over a month, because I haven't really been walking around the city. I don't do it as much as I did. It's really hot now to do it. You gotta wake up at like 4 in the morning, and maybe the jet lag is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Brandania, how are those nails looking? Nice to see you here. I cannot tell you how much Leo picked up English. I came back, so our family went to the US beginning of the 10th of June. I came back on the end of June for 3 weeks to film up on the top of Mount Fuji and to go back to Nagasaki and get some filler shots in. And then I flew back to the US. He picked up so much English, but the English that he picked up is like teenage girl English, because he was hanging out night and day with his cousins who are like 13 and 17. I got back and there's nothing wrong with it, but his nails were painted in some very amazing colors. I have to say, it's interesting. And Brandania, who has maybe the most immaculate fingernails that I've ever seen of anybody, just beautifully painted. I think Leo got the idea from her. And whenever she comes, every time she comes, we go to Tokyo Disneyland or Disney. Actually, it's been Disney Sea lately. And the one thing that we always notice is her beautiful fingernails. And I think Leo is really inspired by that. he got painted fingernails and he talks like a teenage girl. He says like this, "What the heck? What the heck?" He said it like 100 times on the plane. He's like, "What the heck? What the heck, Dad? What the heck, Dad?" Thanks, guys. I'm talking to my nieces. She talks like a teenager. I guess you really are influenced by the people you hang out with. He doesn't say like. He doesn't say that, but he does say what the heck and a couple of other weird stuff. Like you won't know. You'll know that he's very American now if you do talk to him, and he's very good at switching between Japanese and English now. Although when we arrived, his Gigi, Kanai's father, was here, and he was so shy because he had to switch on to Japanese. He hadn't done so in like 7 weeks, but he eventually did it in the taxi ride there, and that worked out okay. We're looking back at where the Sumida fireworks is gonna be taking place here. 5 going on 15 now. He hasn't picked up the bad habits, and I don't say like so much, although I think I went to high school in that generation, but I had friends that were really like Dungeons and Dragon people, so we didn't say like, because we didn't hang out with the cheerleaders and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I'm just saying, like, we hung out with other geeks, and other geeks talked about, like, you know, magic missiles and druids and you know, like swords and hit points. It's not really that interesting to you. I can move on. Dungeons and Dragons is pretty cool. With the dice, everybody loved that 20-sided die. It was fun stuff. If you have those kinds of friends. Anyways, it is really brutally hot here. I'm really glad that we got a chance to say hello, just a quick 30-minute live stream. But over the course of the next, I'm going to stream every day this week and next week. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, I'll be talking about a lot of the issues that have changed. Look, what's really changed? All right, everybody said that nobody's coming to Japan. Well, guess what? The first 6 months, they had 22 million tourists come in the first 6 months. That means 44 million tourists are going to be coming to Japan, which is still only half of what France gets, but that's a significant amount. And considering the fact that we would have gotten to 50 million if not for this prophecy of an earthquake that was supposed to happen by yesterday, apparently. I remember the live stream I did about 20 days ago. They said, John, it's not on the 5th, it's on the 25th. And I said, huh. All right, we arrived on the 25th. There's no earthquake. Prophecy. Megaquake. Look, if you are planning, the chance of the megaquake was here last year and the year before and the year before that, and it's going to be here next year and the year after that and the year after that. It's not going away. It's like, I don't know, rolling a die with 1,000 numbers on it. You just don't know, okay, when it's going to happen. Actually, it's probably more than 1,000 numbers, like 3,000 numbers on it. Roll the die, and that will be the day that the megaquake comes. But you can talk about it. It's good to talk about it. It's good to be prepared. Knowing that Japan has earthquakes is good. But the fact that that's keeping tourists away, probably a good thing. Because I would think that it would be the heat that kept people away, but it's not the heat. It's actually a fear of being in an earthquake. I'm not scared. I am. I hate earthquakes. I hate powerful ones because you feel helpless, but you can't control that. Japan's just got so many great things to it that is going to keep bringing people in. If you're in a megaquake, you're in the right place to be in one. Let's just say we're prepared. Tokyo's been evolving over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years with new buildings. It's in a good spot, and for dealing with this kind of stuff, I'm not too worried about it, but I'm prepared for it. I think you guys are too. Californians are probably prepared for it as well. Probably Hawaiians too. Well, I just had a comment saying I would never climb Mount Fuji. I wouldn't want to be there when it erupts. Well, it hasn't erupted since 1707, and there's no real proof that it's going to erupt in the next 10 years. So you just can't tell. But because of all the talk, I have to admit, when I was on the summit 2 weeks ago, I was thinking about it. What would it be like if I'm looking down into the, just look 2 weeks ago on this channel, I'm looking down into the crater of Mount Fuji going, what? I'm sure it would like start smoking, like Dante's Peak. You started to get signs of a volcanic eruption. Remember that one with Tommy Lee Jones? You started to get signs. I think a volcanic eruption is different than an earthquake. It won't just come suddenly. You'll have more of a heads up. You'll have some notices, like birds will be dying or toxic gas will be oozing or something. Maybe it's already going on, I'm not really sure. But I climbed it, I came back down. I felt great because I got all these red blood cells in my system for 28 days, some doctor told me. And I think it wasn't really worth it because this is my 3rd time climbing it, but I think it's something that you should consider. But don't do it the way everybody else did it. Yeah, we lost Ozzy Osbourne, which is crazy. I was, I guess I had friends that were in Dungeons and Dragons, but also friends that were in mosh pits, I was friends with everybody in high school, like the skaters, the freaks. The freaks were really freaks. They just dressed up in like black leather jackets and had Led Zeppelin and Megadeth on the back of their jackets and stuff. I thought they were pretty cool. And I got into some of the music, and Black Sabbath was pretty cool. Ozzy Osbourne had some pretty good music back then. That was really shocking. And then to see Hulk Hogan, who every 80s kid, and I'm one of them, WrestleMania 3, I could not get my parents to do the pay-per-view. Who else? It was, so I shouldn't say this, right? Well, I guess I can't because it was like 40 years ago. But I had binoculars, and my neighbors got it, and they told me they were getting it pay-per-view, but they said I couldn't come. I said, why? I don't know. So the kids said, the parents probably would have been okay. But we're like 9 years old or 10 years old. So I was able to get the binoculars, and I was able to see Hulk Hogan body slam Andre the Giant in WrestleMania 3, I think it was. And that was pretty cool. I was influenced by the Hulkster. He had a Saturday morning cartoon, I remember that. Kids just love the Hulkster, I don't know. It's not the same now, perhaps, but back then he was let's just say it was really tough to see that he passed away. I was at the airport. We were just boarding the flight when I saw that, and yeah, it's a shame. That match was iconic. I think everybody knew that Hulk Hogan was going to win, but the fact that he body slammed a 7 foot 4-inch, 500-pound wrestler is just incredible. And the fact that Andre the Giant could take the body slam, man, those two were just the greatest. That was like the golden age. Hulkamania, man. It's tough. Wrestling is huge in Japan as well. It's women's wrestling, men's wrestling is huge here. They really love it. I should do an episode on that. Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. A lot of people in their 70s now that were really impactful when I was a kid. That's just 20 years from me now. I could be them, so I better take care of myself. Anyways, the fireworks is today. I gotta go get back to editing. I got that Nagasaki and a strawberry video. I got so much stuff to get out there, but the Nagasaki one is very dear to my heart, and I think for the community, for a lot of you, I've done 2 Hiroshima atomic bomb episodes already. A lot of people said, what about Nagasaki? Don't forget Nagasaki. I did forget Nagasaki. I went there multiple times. I can't even, at least 2 times, 3 times. As I went there and I got the story the best that I could, and I stayed there for, I think I was there for about 8 days total over the course of it, filming for this. So it's a good and big episode, and I hope it does well, but you just can't tell. It's a good story. It's an important story. It's the hibakusha, the survivor stories. So I hope you guys tune in for that. UFO Bob, I might try to get in touch with you, and maybe you could preview this. I always love your feedback on it. But I found there's a lot of declassified World War II footage, including the footage taken from the aerial planes. This is the boxcar, which is the one. You know, it's funny, one of the reconnaissance planes was the Enola Gay, which is the one that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, was a reconnaissance plane for the weather in Kokura, which was the primary target. I thought that was really interesting. It went back to Tinian, and then was it Tinian, or did it go back? I'm not sure, but it was interesting that it was one of the planes in the second one as well. But it's a pretty big episode. I think it'll correct some facts that people didn't know were facts about it, but it's very much about on the ground. So that'll be on the main channel. All right, guys, take care. Stay cool because it is freaking hot, and I don't know if I'll be back to live stream the fireworks. I usually will watch it on TV, but if I do, yeah, I'll be around town. I'll be around town this summer. So I'll see you. Mata ne. Thanks, guys. It's nice to be back home.